The Echoes of Blackwood. In the sleepy town of Blackwood, nestled deep within the heart of the forest, a legend had long been whispered about. It was a place where technology seemed to fail, and the only sound was the eerie silence that enveloped everything. The town was infamous for its mysterious disappearances, and the locals avoided speaking about it, as if the very mention could summon something sinister. The story begins. Lena, a 19-year-old social media influencer, had always been drawn to the unknown. She had built her fame on exploring abandoned places and sharing her experiences with her millions of followers. When she stumbled upon Blackwood, she knew she had to go there. The allure of uncovering its secrets was too enticing to resist. Lena assembled a team of her closest friends: Jake, the tech-savvy one who could hack into anything; Emily, a paranormal enthusiast with a passion for the supernatural; and Matt, a thrill-seeker always ready for the next adrenaline rush. Together, they packed their gear and set off for Blackwood. As they entered the town, their phones and cameras began to malfunction. The GPS led them in circles, and the only sound was the crunch of gravel beneath their feet. It was as if Blackwood was swallowing all signs of modern life. The first night, the group decided to explore the abandoned high school, rumored to be the epicenter of the disappearances. Inside, they found old classrooms filled with dusty desks and chalkboards covered in cryptic messages. Emily sensed a presence, but whenever they tried to capture evidence, their equipment would fail. That night, they set up camp in the school's gymnasium. As they settled in, strange noises began to echo through the halls: whispers, footsteps, and faint screams. It was then that they discovered an old hidden room deep in the basement. Inside the room, they found a series of VHS tapes labeled with dates and names. The tapes seemed to be recordings of people who had disappeared in Blackwood. Curiosity got the better of them, and they decided to watch the tapes. The tapes. The first tape showed a girl named Sarah, who had gone missing in 1995. As they watched, Sarah began to speak directly to them, warning them to leave Blackwood while they still could. But it was too late. They were hooked. They watched tape after tape, each one revealing a piece of the town's dark history. However, with each tape, the group started to experience strange visions and nightmares. It was as if the tapes were awakening something within them, something that didn't want them to leave. The descent into madness. As the days passed, the group became more and more entangled in the mystery of Blackwood. They started to turn on each other, suspecting that one of them might be behind the strange occurrences. The lines between reality and the supernatural began to blur. One night, they woke up to find that Matt was missing. A frantic search ensued, but there was no sign of him. It was then that they realized they were not alone in Blackwood. The town seemed to be playing a twisted game with them, using the tapes to lure them deeper into its heart. The final tape. In a desperate bid to find Matt and escape, they watched the final tape. It was labeled with the date of their arrival and their names. As they watched, they saw themselves exploring the town, finding the tapes, and eventually disappearing one by one. The tape ended with a message: "You should not have come here." Suddenly, the room was filled with an intense, blinding light. When the light faded, Lena was alone. Her friends were gone, and she was left with only one clue: a note that read, "The last one to leave turns off the lights." The end. Lena stumbled out of the school, into the darkness of Blackwood. She ran as fast as she could, but the town seemed endless. Eventually, she found herself back at the entrance, where she had first arrived. As she looked back, the town disappeared into the trees, leaving behind only silence. Lena never spoke of Blackwood again, but her followers noticed a change in her. She posted less frequently, and when she did, her captions were cryptic, hinting at a horror beyond words. Some say that on quiet nights, you can still hear the echoes of Blackwood calling out to the next group of adventurers brave enough to uncover its secrets.